shit's in the safe. Got me a spot out the way. Nigga just trying to be safe.
Let's get to the sports talk.
Right. Wiseman has now been suspended for the next, 9 games?
Yeah, 12. It's going to be 12 games total. It would normally be about 9 games, but since he played in the first 3 games, the NCAA tacked that on so he can next appear in a game. I believe it's January 12th. I think that is the date.
January 12th is the day.
Against South Florida. So I think Jay Billis really kind of lays it out there very well of what was done, and that, quite honestly, it's a rule, and the rule was broken.
Yeah, here's Jay basically explaining, there was a rule, but he doesn't like the rule.
I think the rule stinks, and it should be changed. I think the rule is unfair, but the application of the rule is fair. If the NCAA didn't do this, if they didn't give Wiseman the 9 games, which is 30% of the season, and stuff that we talked about well before this ruling was ever handed down, they would have been criticized like crazy by others who got the same punishment in the past. So this is normal process for how these extra benefit cases go and eligibility cases.
All right, so it's time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. So, again, the rule is that Penny Hardaway gave $11,500 to move Wiseman's family from, Nashville to Memphis when he was the coach of a high school.
Right. He was just considered then a booster.
Correct.
That's where the trouble was.
Yes, because he had given $1 million to the University of Memphis, where Penny played, to build a Hall of Fame. He had donated $1 million. So, ipso facto, to use a word a phrase you may have heard over the last few days, quid pro quo, the NCAA then says, well, wait a minute, that makes Penny a booster to the University of Memphis. So even though he wasn't the coach of Memphis at the time, this construes in the NCAA's mind to be an extra benefit a booster is giving to someone who is now playing for the school.
So you can hate the rule like Jay says, and that's fine. A lot of us can think it's a bad rule, but as he said, the way they applied the rule to the suspension was correct in how they do it.
And that's why Jay was so surprised that Memphis...
The NCAA getting out of hand. They're getting out of hand with all this. Like, you realize you could suspend a player over a coach that wasn't even at Memphis at the time. They give him $11,000. He spent $11,000 to get him to Memphis so he could be able to play ball. And now they want to turn around and say, donate $11,000. He don't even get paid. Where is he going to get $11,000 at? That is power-hungry company. Make all this money off the kid, but want him to donate $11,000. Where is he gonna get that from? The NCAA just suspended players for no reason. They already suspended players for getting money from family friend, and then they want to suspend a player because his coach that was in high school at the time helped him get to Memphis to play ball. And they suspend him and then they want him to pay $11,000 that Penny Hardaway helped him move to get there. Where is he gonna get that from? They don't pay him. They gonna wait till he gets to the league for him to donate it? That rule don't make sense to me.
Had him on the court after the NCAA initially put this down because it was something that he saw as so run-of-the-mill as far as what we see from the NCAA. The school didn't seem to have a win
Just
there.
eat the 9 games, but now it's 12 games because he played in those 3. Now here's the ridiculous part.
Preach.
And God bless the charity that's going to get this money. But this is a family that borrowed $11,500 to make that move. And now as part of the punishment, while he's eligible, he has to pay $11,500 to a charity of his choice. So again, great for the charity. Here's the amazing thing. Where the hell is he getting the money?
Probably from a booster.
And you know what? The NCAA won't care because he can't go get a job to make $11,500 while he's eligible to pay that. But he can't get a job. He can't go down and do the local signing and make money because that's not a rule yet, so he can't do that. So
can't borrow from an agent.
has asked a guy who actually had to borrow money to move his family to pay said money to a charity now. And you know what? They won't care where he gets it. They won't ask one question. A booster could walk up to Wiseman, hand him a check for $11,500. Wiseman could say, here you go, Mr. and Mrs. NCAA. Here's my $11,500 to this charity. They say, thank you very much, John, that you have now satisfied part of your discipline. How dumb is that?
That Mr. and Mrs. NCAA have plastic on their furniture.
Holy
100%.
smokes!
It just makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever.
I would just like to see the same energy kept by all of those people that say that college athletes should not be able to go out there and earn and profit off of pretty much anything in this situation, this entire NCAA amateurism scam that it is.
This is a scam. Soon as they step on that floor and he do highlights in his jersey sale, it's a scam. They is making money off these kids. And they already don't get paid till like 2020, 21. Off of just signing jerseys or just signing anything that's had a name attached to it. That rule ain't nowhere near yet. It's a scam. Anyone put on a football jersey, baseball jersey, basketball jersey, soccer jersey, they making plenty of money off of them. It's a scam. Ask someone to pay $11,000. If he go get it from a booster, don't question him why you get it from a booster. That's the only way he can pay it. Y'all can make millions of dollars off of them and then turn around and ask somebody to pay $11,000.
Keep that same energy the other way, because if this isn't professional sports, this is a fine. Like, you can list this as a charity donation. He is being fined. He's being fined $11,500 as part of this punishment. You can call it a donation to charity. I got news for you. I think that's where most of the NFL fines go to, if I'm not mistaken.
They all go to charity.
They all go to charity. But it's still a fine. Like, you could twist it with some pretty words. They fined James Wiseman. In a sport where you're not allowed to make money in college, I don't know how on the other side we can turn around and find people. So I would ask those.
They're calling it a payback. He has to pay back the money and pay it back to a charity.
He was the one who paid for this move to begin with. Like, this was a family, and I get it. You could loosely argue that there are ways where that could lead to impropriety.
Sure.
But I don't know, man. At the end of the day, like, when people react so strongly the other way, and I get it, maybe that's a shrinking crowd to the idea of pay for play or image and likeness or anything like that, all of that stuff, when you do that and you react that strongly the other way for cash coming in for kids,
Ain't like he got the money to do anything with it. It was to come to school and play basketball. So he didn't have an opportunity to go to the NBA. He didn't get the money and go splurge. That would help him to go to college. So he could be able to do something he loves. To play ball.
just hope that you will be just as strong in your reaction to cash going out here, because this is a fine.
Yeah, I just have, I'm talking to the NCAA right now. Help me, help you. Help me, help you. Help me understand where a kid who needed that money to move his family and can't get a job, can't use his image and likeness, yes. Where the hell do you expect him to get this money from?
And they don't care. You know what? They'll get it from a booster. He'll get it from his coach. He'll get it somewhere, and they don't care.
He'll probably get it like every other college kid does and go to some student loan place and get a loan for $11,500.
You think he will? I think some booster pays this thing off and NCAA doesn't care.
Then we're doing the circular logic
I was
thing
going to say, if that just seems like a space now where eyes are already on you and you've already missed games. Why are you going to open up to something like that? Because what I'd imagine would be the easiest solution is you go get a student loan for $11,500, and immediately after you turn pro later this spring when you're James Wiseman, you're going to have $11,500 from your agent or from a signing or from anywhere else in the world.
You're going to have a lot more than $11,500.
That you'll pay that money back with. But it's just the ridiculous exercise of it. Like, again, James Wiseman, we presume, because of his ability, is not going to be hurting for money come this spring, but it's just the idea that, again, in a place where you are not allowed to earn, we can still fine you, and I don't understand that.
It's crazy. Again, we're not saying anything about the games or suspension.
No, nothing of that.
We get it.
That's
it's a
understandable.
rule. It was broken.
I don't understand. You can't ask somebody to pay something if he can't make no money off his jersey. That don't make sense. How you gonna find somebody in college that don't get paid until 2021? When players sign stuff to make money off their name, there's nowhere near yet. How you gonna find somebody for going to college to play basketball? To help his family move there so he can be able to do that. How do you find somebody in college that already can't get a job?
He sits for the suspension, and of course there'll be the other side of people who say, well, maybe a player doesn't care if he's going to get suspended. He just wants to go get a bunch of money, and he'll take money from a booster even though he knows he'll get suspended. So they'll take that chance, by doing that. And yet, here you go, having to pay it back.
It's a third of his season.
Yeah.
Think about what you're asking this kid to do, NCAA. That's all I'm saying. He didn't have it to begin with, which is why he needed it, and then he needed it, and now you're saying, well, you're going to have to give that money back even though you know he doesn't have it. Right.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, highlights, and